Hey there, it's MarVeena, and I wanted to welcome you to my Angel Q&A today. I'm really excited to get to visit to all of my friends far and wide, and so that reminds me to be sure and post where you're coming in from, because I like to know how far away that the different my video goes. So, hey everybody, hi Misty, hi Rebecca. Thanks for hopping on today. And don't forget to post your questions for your angels in the comments. I have a couple of streams of comments, so I'm trying to multitask here. But in today's video, I'm also doing a presentation on creating an angelic grid or portal way in your own house or your own backyard. So if you have questions about creating portal ways and grids for the angels, you can post those in the comments as well. And be sure and share to your friends, because I will be giving away a free 30-minute angel reading later on in the presentation. And that reminds me, Jackie Stewart, you won the angel reading from last week. So let me know, and we'll set up a time that we can talk and do your angel reading. So that's right. All you have to do is share. And, I believe that the angels bring us together for different reasons, and there's just a certain amount of synchronicity that happens in the universe, that when you're ready to activate different spiritual codes and wake up some of your gifts, that the angels help to bring together a way that can stimulate your natural gifts to kind of activate, to help you to kind of have some epiphanies and understandings about how you can touch the world with beauty. And I think that we all have a gift and special ways that we can do that. And that's one of our higher self's big goals for coming into this dimension, is to find that specialness within ourselves and to put it out in the world, even if we're scared to death, or even if we feel uncomfortable or unsure about how our gifts will be received, or if people will think we're crazy, or if people will think that we're that we don't know what we're talking about. I really believe that we all have something to offer. And if you just happened upon this page, then just know that somewhere within the presentation, there might be a little piece that really resonates to you and can help you. If you take action on that, it can help you unfold and move forward on your soul's highest path, plan, and purpose. And if you have questions, post them in the comments. I do my best to answer them. There are, the angels are just purely genius about being able to answer several people's question with one person's reading. So if you keep your heart open and keep your mind open, and just create the intention to be receptive to the ideas that can best help you move forward, then your angels and mine can kind of get together and make magic happen. I really believe that. And so, hey, everybody, thanks for coming in. Parker, hi there. Melanie, hey, girl. Mandy, Kay, I'm glad you could come. Carol, Leah. So welcome, everybody. I love to see the hearts. That makes me, I don't know, it just kind of gives me energy whenever I see the hearts come across. So thank you for I feel the love. Okay. Oh, another thing that I wanted to say is to light a candle if you have one. Anytime that you want to connect to your angels and you have something on your mind or on your heart, if you can find a quiet place to sit and light a candle, maybe burn some incense, that's just a way to send out a signal to the universe that you align yourself with the light and it helps us to create a connection to our higher self. And through our higher self, it helps us to connect to the Holy Spirit. So right now, we're kind of going through some powerful times in the universe. And the Archangel Metatron is working really hard to wake up all of us and help us to create more pillars of light and portals of light into this dimension. And if you all haven't noticed, especially if you've been watching the news, that there is a lot of craziness going on. And so light activated light workers are needed. And even if you are sitting here watching this video today and you're thinking, well, MarVeena, I'm not a light worker. I don't even know what that is. And I don't understand that. I feel if you were drawn to participating today, that you are committed to the light, you're committed to the Holy Spirit, to at some time in your soul journey to make a stand for the light. So one of the ways that the Archangel Metatron is working with us is helping us to wake up more of our latent skills, and think of it as like a smart cell phone. Like when you buy a smartphone, it has all of these different apps on it. And some of those apps are just like you turn your phone on and you have access to those apps. But then there's other applications that are on your phone that you might have to do a little bit more to have access to that software that application represents. We are like that. We have apps that are dormant and they are carried into our physical body through our cellular blueprint. So when we're born, there is a etheric blueprint, and it has the memories of different lifetimes that we've worked on. It has different spiritual gifts, bodies of understanding, and we have access to it at different times in our life. So some of the things that are coded into our DNA and into our cells, we have to earn our way to be able to access that body of information. So our highest guardian angel is always watching us and keeping an eye on how we're developing spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and to what degree are we have we attained on our spiritual activation and raising our vibrations. And when we get to a certain level, then our highest guardian angel is able to give us access to different bodies of information that before we had no idea about. And there are some applications that we have to make a great effort in order to activate that piece of business and to bring it into our physical understanding in a way that we can make sense of it. So that might mean studying with someone. It might be about pursuing a spiritual path. There are many, many different ways that we can wake up more of our spiritual understanding. Sometimes we might wake it up in a hard way, like have an accident, which is that's what happened to me when I had my near-death experience a long time ago. That is not the desirable way to do it. I'm just going to tell y'all right now. And you don't have to do it that way. If you want to wake up more of your hidden apps on your own DNA, then create the intention. That's the first thing, is to have the desire and the intention to wake up more of your spiritual gifts. And I really think it's a good idea to throw out that caveat. I intend to activate and wake up in a beauty way through pleasure, because we can activate through pain. One of the things that comes to mind is a man who was struck by lightning and woke up, and he was able to see angels and to see relatives. That is not activating in a beauty way. That is waking up through pain. And, you know, the sad thing is a lot of times that we have this kind of hardwiring that if we get it the hard way, that it's better. But I don't think that's true. We can wake up in a beauty way. So you create that intention to unfold and activate your gifts and to connect with your highest guardian angel and to spirit in a beauty way through pleasure. I think it's going to be a lot easier on you and a lot more joyful, and not so much downtime of healing of the physical. So create the intention. I intend to activate and wake up through beauty and through pleasure, but you still have to do the work. So the work might be like meditation on a regular basis, and doing things like today, like we're talking about, connecting to other like-minded souls that are connected to spirit, and that we're doing what we can to activate our understanding of the spirit world, of our connection to each other and to the angels and to creation. And you may follow some sort of a path like Qigong or Tai Chi. I did Taekwondo, which is a hard path. I would recommend more like Tai Chi or Qigong as an active meditation. There are many different meditations that you can put into action, and I have quite a few in my free Angel ebook, and you can sign up for it if you haven't already. But there's quite a few different types of meditations that I recommend that can help you to kind of clear the pathways and clear out the debris and just set things into motion so that you can kind of step up your game here in this dimension and activate your original highest soul's blueprint. And that is what we came here to do. If you ever wonder, I don't know why I'm here, that's why you're here, is to activate your blueprint and to step up into your power in a beauty way from a place of balance and unconditional love. And that's kind of a game changer, is whenever you can move out of the ego and the lower chakras and wake up the heart chakra and all of the petals in the heart chakra. There's that is just an amazing kind of an epiphany, and it helps you to bridge from the lower chakras to the higher chakras and be able to have access to the gifts that the higher chakras are holding. So Kay, I see you there, and I feel like your angels are really wanting to just put as much love and light around you as possible. And they are so proud to work with you. And they say that you just have a beautiful heart and that you do so much for so many people and you don't ask for anything in return. What they're saying is that I know that you asked about what to do for this friend of yours. You wrote that a friend of the family is dying and you're headed over there this afternoon, and you just want to sit with him and be there for him as he makes his journey across the Rainbow Bridge. And you were worried about what to do, but you know, your angels just want you to have some faith that you will have the words to say, or you will know what to do, and that just by being there for them is very powerful. But you know what? I think it's a blessing both ways. It's a blessing for them, but it's also a blessing for you. And it's a part of your soul contract. And I think I don't know how to explain it, but the best way I can explain it is that there are some souls that come here to be what I call a death walker. And that means that they literally have a foot on one side of this world and a foot in the astral planes. And they're able to take someone from their physical body and help them to navigate back into the spirit world, into pure non-physical energy, and where they can feel supported and feel loved and feel your confidence. And I think that it's a huge blessing for any of us to be present when somebody crosses from the physical. I know we might think that is like bad luck, or that why did I have to witness that? But if you witness someone crossing over, it's really a very powerful time. And it's a part where you can step up into the high priestess part of yourself and help that person to feel at ease, and use your light body to help shine a light for them. And just trust that whatever you feel like bringing to this situation, I know you had asked about what kind of minerals or crystals or stones or oils. I just feel like whatever intuitively comes to you, just trust that that's going to be something that can help that person to cross over. And, you know, even if nobody was there, their angels would step forward and undertake everything. But just trust that whatever you are guided to do, to take, or to say it's going to be helpful. So they're just, the Archangel Metatron was just reminding me that anybody that is drawn to watching this video today, that it is time for us to step up into our power, and the part of us that is a high priestess or a high priest, and to own that part of ourselves, even if we feel very uncomfortable, or if it's not really in our spiritual path to believe like that, or if we've never heard of it, that this is time for us to kind of up level our consciousness and make some positive changes in our life to do that. And creating a crystal grid, or using pebbles even, or different stones, are one way that we can create like a window or a doorway or a portal to the angelic realm that strengthens our connection to the spirit world. So it's just like a long time ago when I moved out here to the ranch. We're way out of town, so getting an internet signal was hard. The first time that I had internet out here, it's like you had to dial up, and you heard that horrible noise. And along the way, we were guided to getting some different systems that could boost our signal. So creating a portalway or a grid is a way to boost your signal to the angelic realm. And there are many different reasons to do that. But it's like you have better ability to communicate to them for one reason. Just like if I tried to do this live stream 15 years ago, I might have a cell and I might not. I might be rocking along and talking to people and then lose my connection and have to dial up again. So that is the same reason for us to put together a grid for angelic communication in your own house or in your yard. Now, I have a huge grid in my front yard, but I have a big yard. We have an 1.5 acres of yard. So I have plenty of room, but I actually have a 60-foot diameter grid that's dedicated to the angels, and it's called a labyrinth. And so that's an extreme one, but I do this work all the time. But you could put together a really nice, like a 12-inch diameter grid in your own bedroom, on your dresser, or someplace in your house. When you put together a grid, you want to do your best to kind of put it out of the way so that the cats can't move all of the stones or the crystals around, and or kids can't have access to it. But think about a place that's kind of up high so children can't get to it, and or out of the way. So I like to use my bedroom is one place where I have a little grid, and I have one in my office as well. Actually, I have a handful of them. We can have one that is for kind of dedicated for public use. So my grid in the front yard is where I invite people to come in, and we can do full moon ceremonies and new moon ceremonies. There's different times of the year that it's particularly powerful to be able to connect to our angels outside in the full moon, and we can get all kinds of connection, of understanding, of epiphanies. So it can be very healing and very activating and powerful. But there's other intentions that you can set for your own grid at home. And one thing that you can do is, if you feel that you have a lot of things that you need to process, is that you can create an angelic grid for healing. So just set some crystals in a circle, or you could even use different geometric or sacred geometry and follow those kind of patterns. If you feel really drawn to doing something like that, just put crystals at the different corners of the sacred geometry, or you could follow a spiral and create a beautiful feminine goddessy energy sacred grid. You can infuse them with herbs, different things that have meaning to you. Like I did one for healing for one of my horses that passed away. So I did a beautiful grid, and on the inside of it, I put some of her hair, I put a candle, and I burned some incense in there, and just created the intention that this grid would serve the purpose to kind of honor her spirit, honor her journey. And the light was a way to hold a light for her to move forward across the rainbow bridge in power, knowing that she kind of did an amazing job here on this plane, and that she touched our hearts with beauty. And we're just holding a space for her to be able to move to the next level in a good way. And a lot of times whenever people email or call me or ask for healing, then I'll do a grid like that and ask the angels to kind of watch over it and charge it and let it be a space for healing to infuse that person. So just let your imagination work with you. And if you have figurines of angels, you can put those in your grid as well. Whatever kind of speaks to you at the time. I have figurines of unicorns and dragons and angels. I have, of course, a lot of horse figurines, but I just meditate on my intention, whatever it is that I'm praying for, or that I desire to create or manifest, and just let my creativity pull together whatever from the house. So it might be crystals, it might be a combination of minerals with crystals, with different images, but you definitely want to keep the grid clean. So like if it gets dusty, then You can make sure that you clean all of the crystals. If you feel like the energy has kind of fallen off of your grid or your portal way, then you can make sure you clean all of the crystals, like run them under some cold water or let them sit out in the moon, especially if you've got a full moon. Put them outside, let them soak up some moonlight. You can run them through some sage or some of a smudge, and that's a great way to infuse them and just clear out any debris or any negative energy that they might have been attached with, and then just recharge your grid. And a good way to charge your grid, and I do talk about creating angelic portal ways in my angel ebook, so be sure and sign up for that. It's free. All you have to do is put in your best email and I'll send it to you. But I will talk about creating a grid in there and how you can charge it. And there's many different ways that you can charge an angelic grid. But one way is just to create the intention that this grid, or that it be a portal way for the angelic realm, and that it help you connect to beings of light, the angelic teachers, the masters that can help you to learn how we can activate more of our original, our codes, like our light body codes. We all have them. If we had them activated fully, then we would be like hovering probably off the ground, and we would be so bright with light that nobody could stand to look at us. So all of us or most of us that are in a human physical body, we have work to do and light codes to activate. And good ways to do that are thinking, eating clean, drinking clean water, eating higher vibrational foods. That's not going to be meat. I'm sorry, y'all. But high vibrational vegetables and fruit, clean water, and clean thoughts and clean actions. That's a simple formula that you can't go wrong with. So I had another question. Susan writes, Susan Zellock writes, what do my angels want me to know? So Susan, your angels are encouraging you to activate more of your authentic self. So I feel like this is a time for you that you can think of it as a come to Jesus meeting. It's time to meditate, sit with your angels, sit with spirit on a regular basis, and help them. Let them help you to help you separate out what's important from what's not important. And that can bring you to ideas of action, small action steps that you can take. And you're the one that has to take these action steps because you're in the physical body. So you're grounding down the codes, and you're bringing them into the earth and activating them. One thing they also want you to do is some clearing work, and think about clearing any like cords that are binding you, especially to world systems, because some of our world systems have been distorted. So there's many different ways that you can do this, but one simple way is to take your hand like this and put it at the back of your neck, and to move it over the top of your head and straight down in front, all the way down to your navel chakra, and do that 3 times. And every time you bring it down, you just kind of sweep it out to the side, to the right. And it's a symbol of cutting cords that are binding you to world systems, to other entities or other beings who do not have your higher soul good in mind. So we don't ever want to be corded or bound to a system or to an entity or energy or person that is not in harmony with our highest soul good. So it's time to cut the cords. And, you know, often when we cut cords, we have like gaping spiritual wounds. So definitely ask your angels to infuse your golden web with healing light and healing love, and to repair any damages, any wounds, to heal, to just think about putting like etheric light bandages over the wounds, and asking your angels to infuse your energy field with healing light and healing love. So that is a simple technique to help you disconnect from what's not serving you and heal. And then another thing that you can add that will be very beneficial is to just create the intention that your angels infuse your whole energy field or your golden web from the temples of love, light, and truth. So that can be very powerful. It can help to activate a plan for what to do next. So anytime that we boot something out of our system, a lot of times we don't make plans for what to do next. And so it's hugely important that we intend our energy. And in this circumstance, I'm encouraging you to intend your energy for activating more of your light codes and waking up into your higher blueprint. But you want to intend it towards something. So that way, that whatever you kicked out doesn't have a boomerang effect and come rebounding right back into your system, because that happens a lot. It's like you don't, the universe won't tolerate a void. And so when you boot something else out, you need to heal the area that was compromised. So if you have a etheric wound, it needs to be healed. And you can do that many different ways, but just intending with your angels is going to be a good way, a good start for you. I do some of that in the soul clearing work as well. I do a lot of it, actually. So Jacqueline writes, can I use a portal to banish evil? So yes, you know, that's a lot of times portal ways get open for nefarious purposes, and ugly entities, ugly spirits can use them as an avenue to kind of hijack your life force energy. And that happens to people that don't have a strong grip and are that might be attached to alcohol, to drugs, or to other mind-altering substances. And so anytime that you are under the effect of any type of substance like that, then it's like nobody's home. Like the ship is sailing along through the water, and there is nobody sailing the ship. And what it does is it creates an opportunity for ugly hijacker, pirate, evil spirits or entities to just jump on board and say, well, all right, if nobody's going to steer this ship, I'll steer it. And of course, they're going in the direction they want to go. And that, I guarantee you, is not the direction that you want to go. So if you have had problems like that, or if you feel like you've been attached or that there's an ugly spirit around, then you definitely want to take some strong steps to get that out of your life. And but working with your angels and creating an angelic portal way of light is a good step. And the more angelic portal ways of light that Archangel Metatron can get established and functioning, then the more that the Holy Spirit can stream in light energy. And for those of us that are very concerned about world events and all of the different crazy stuff that's going on in politics all over the world, and you know, sad, horrible things that are going on, this is a way you can be a help, is anchoring a portal way of light in your home and helping to maintain it, keep it clean, keep it energized, keep it active for the light. And the angelic realm can bring to you messages that can help us to hold a space for people that are leaning to the dark. And that is one way that you can make a positive contribution for the light. So Amy Sorensen writes, I dreamed about my parents. They're in spirit, but I can't remember what they say, and it makes me very sad. So Amy, whenever we wake up, we reemerge into the physical body, and it's like our veil of amnesia is reactivated. And that veil of amnesia is, it's a protective sort of a mechanism. It's kind of like blinders on a horse. I don't know if you've ever seen horses that are running and they have like little blinders on them. It's to keep them focused on the end goal rather than on what's going on around them. But if you didn't come through the veil of amnesia when you woke up, then you would be able to see other astral realms and what's going on with your parents. And it would be probably impossible or next to impossible to want to stay here, because you're like, you know, I've had enough of this crap here. I think I'm gonna go back with mom and dad. You know, things are much better over there. So we have that because it helps us to stay focused in the physical and to hopefully make the most of our physical journey here, and not just give up the ghost anytime that the going gets rough. So you're having that dream, and you have just enough of the dream of your parents that you know you had a little visit. And that's just like their way of helping you to just know that they are, they're still there for you. They're just focused in a different astral reality. So don't fret about it. Just know that you still have things to unfold here in this lifetime. There's events and experiences that your higher self wants you to witness, wants you to participate in. And just, it always, I think, helps tremendously if we just align ourselves with our soul's ideas of what's important and what's powerful, and do your best to get away from what your ego wants. So the ego wants the comfort of mother and daddy. It's easy to understand. But if you can just pull yourself out of the little me and do your best to harmonize with your higher self, things will unfold easier for you. It'll be easier for you to stay focused here. Suzanne Dawson writes, I dreamed I had an accident and poo was everywhere. I tried to clean it up, and then it turned into blood. And then my husband in the spirit world came in to help me, and he winked at me and he said, we got this. I don't know what to make of that. So Suzanne, I tell you what, I feel like your angels are just wanting to point out in this dream is that you've been going through some difficult experiences with a romance that went south, and it was very hard for you to digest the experience, but you finally got it out. And so all of the poo and all of the crap, I know it's icky to talk about, but symbolically, the angels are saying you've got it out. The reason it turned to blood is because it shows how deeply that this was a core wound, that you need to do some processing to heal that core wound. And but your husband in the spirit world, that's his way of saying that he's going to help you sort it out. and maybe make sense of some of the things, the events that unfolded, and help you to clean it up and pull yourself back together and move forward. So that's the thing, is being able to realize you got burned, it hurt, it cut to the bone, you bled over it, but you have help to pull yourself back together again. So just know that. I think just by acknowledging that will help you to feel a little better about it. So Mary writes, is there an angel or a guide that's trying to send you a message today? So Mary, I think your angels are just happy that you're sitting with Spirit, and they're just encouraging you to regularly sit down with your angels, with your guides, with your teachers, to meditate. And every time that you sit there, it helps to build the light in your energy field. And they're going to just give you some little nudges, little ideas, bit by bit, that can help you to move forward on your soul path. But don't think it's going to happen all at once. And don't think that you're going to be sitting there and all of a sudden that you'll have this stream of conversation as strong as like what you're hearing from me, because you may just get one little bitty idea to float across your mind. And you want to just honor that, whatever it is, and see what sort of sense that you can make of that. And that's like your clue to help you move forward with whatever you need to work on in order to kind of get past this stage and up level your consciousness. I see a baby. I don't know what to make about the baby there, but sometimes when you see a baby in the spirit world, it could be talking about a dream child or a goal that you're wanting to activate in this lifetime. So it's like it's little small now, but when you nourish that baby and you keep adding ideas and ways that you can bring that baby into life, then it's strong enough to be able to have like a toehold in this dimension. So nourish your dreams and your goals. And just like you have to carry a physical baby 9 months in order to get it to the point that it can sustain a physical incarnation, you realize that sometimes we have to carry our dream child 9 months too, and just properly think things through, give as much love through our thoughts, through the ideas and plans, and however we can support that dream child in order to actualize it here in this lifetime. So Tiffany Williams writes, ask my angels if I can get into a nursing program. So, well, yes, Tiffany, I feel like your angels are saying that you can get into a nursing program. And just like we were talking about a few minutes ago, it's important to have your goals about why you want to do what you do, and make sure that they are properly aligned with your higher self's goals for this dimension. And then make sure that you're doing your due diligence in order to make that happen here in this lifetime. But I feel like you can, but we have to do the physical work. You've got to be willing to do your part. Your angels will help you to the degree that you help yourself. So if you're not making sure that you're doing the studies that you need to, putting the time into studying and to doing all of the stuff to prepare yourself, then they're not going to do cartwheels to make it magically happen unless there is something like wildly important that you need to be there for, and then that might happen. But for the most part, if you are not taking solid action and to make it happen, then they're not going to do more. But if you show up, they will show up. I really believe that. Cecilia writes, I would love a message about healing from my car wreck. So Cecilia, I just feel like your angels are just talking about that there's a lot of different modalities that can be very beneficial for you, that you want to do some meditation on, and just create the intention and the desire to feel at ease in your physical body. Ask your angels how you can work towards that goal. And I do get a sense of the importance of revisiting the original pain. I know that might sound counterintuitive, but often before we can overcome a trauma that's of this serious nature, that we have to go back to the original part, to the original event, and get ourselves, I know this sounds crazy, but get ourselves back in the body and witness it, and pull back our power from that turn of events. And I think a good technique, there's several different ways that you can do it. One of the best ways that I have found is through a holistic chiropractor. Maybe an osteopathic chiropractor or a holistic chiropractor, not just like the run-of-the-mill pop and crack doctor. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about practitioners that know how to do the gentle manipulations, and that can help you to kind of connect those events. And that can be hugely life-changing. So you may need to apply several different healing modalities to help you navigate through the extremeness of the injuries, but it's worth it for sure. Definitely for sure worth it. Hi, Carrie. I'm glad you could hop on. Hi, Johanna. So Cindy writes, is there a good way to ask my angels for protection while I'm traveling? Yes, Cindy, be sure and sign up for my free angel ebook, because I have at least 2 different prayers that you can use, that I have traveled all over the world, and I've used these to help me feel safe all the way down in Santiago, Chile, all over South America, all over the United States. But I work with the Archangel Michael and with Mother Mary, and just ask for shields and their blue cloak of protection to surround me. And you know, another thing that you can do is to visualize your journey and visualize your trip. And somebody's calling me. I can't talk right now. So visualize your destination and imagine yourself having a smooth, uninterrupted trip to wherever it is that you're going, and just create the intention that you travel in a beauty way, and be where you need to be when you need to be there, and be surrounded by Archangel Michael's blue cloak of protection, or even Mother Mary's, and she also has a blue cloak of protection, but it's very healing. But I do have those on my angel ebook, and I think that could be very helpful for you. All right, so Megan Johnson writes, I dreamed about my grandpa in heaven. He said that everything is fine, and the sun is shining, and there's red birds all around. What does this mean? Well, I feel like it's a very symbolic message, and the Holy Spirit works through many different avenues to help us reconnect to our loved ones on the other side, and to our angels, and to get us messages at different times in our life. But red birds are especially notorious for bringing messages from our ancestors. And so just know that whenever you see a red bird, that's kind of like your grandfather's way of just saying, hey girl, I'm here for you. Remember who you are. And remember that we're connected even though you're still in the living. So they use the birds all the time for me. I'm a big animal lover. I love all kinds of animals, but I have a water trough right outside my window here. And a lot of times when I'm doing readings, different birds will come about, and the color, whatever type of bird it is, it gives me some insight into who I'm talking to, what spirit might be wanting to kind of get in, or how they're wanting to turn the conversation. I've had hawks land in my water trough, all kinds of bluebirds, red birds, different songbirds, dove. Very seldom do I see dove, but when Mother Mary is around, I'll see doves outside the window, or even Jesus. I'll see some pretty doves. I don't see them that much because they're rare out here on the ranch, but I do every so often. And so it's always very special to see that. But just, I talk about that in my angel ebook. And so be sure and sign up for that, because it is free. And it's got a lot of stuff in there. It's really cool. Minerva Perez writes, I just want my angels to know that I love them. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm sure they know. Listen, you know what? You don't have to tell me to tell them. And you don't have to wait for me to give you a message from your angels. And I know some of you feel like if it doesn't come through somebody else, then it's not valid. But don't feel that way, because your angels, they are dedicated to your journey. So they can communicate to you, but you're the one that's going to have to create a way, an avenue, and that means finding a quiet place to sit on a regular basis and learning how to clear your mind of whatever stuff it's like hung up on, in order for them to be able to get you some insight. It's very doable. So don't feel like that if I don't get you a message, that you're not getting a message. And you know what, too? I think they're purely genius at being able to answer one person's question, and that answer will apply to several people. So always keep your ears open and have an intention for what your desire is, like what you want to know. And if you have that intention to receive, and you're willing to hear the truth of the matter, your angels will be able to bring it to you. So Lane Rowden writes, how many angels do I have? So we all have a different assortment of angels that stay with us from the time that we're born until we pass away. And it just depends on what kind of a blueprint that your soul had planned. So if you've got a lot going on here in this lifetime that you need a lot of help, then you're going to have assigned to you more guides and more angels, so that you kind of have access to their support, and like a bigger network is the idea. So but I feel like you have like 3 that are working closely with you for this next phase of activation. And you know, if you have something that you want to learn to do, like for instance, if you always wanted to get into martial arts and learn Taekwondo and get your black belt, then ask your angels to find a spirit guide who has expertise in martial arts that would be willing to work with you, and make sure that you ask for someone that's of a higher vibration than you, and who is of light and love. And honestly, if you go through the angels, they're not going to assign a dud to you. So, but if a guide is not of a higher vibration than you are, they don't have anything to offer you. So they have to have up-leveled significantly in their own journey in order to have something of value usually to offer you. So it's a good question. So Janie Riggs writes, I feel a huge shift. Who do I talk to about this? So Janie, definitely talk to your highest guardian angel and sit with spirit on a regular basis and start to, you might take a journal, write down the ideas that you get, the insight. When you feel inspired to read a book or to follow somebody on YouTube or on Facebook, or to go to some sort of an event, they have a great way of helping you to navigate from one thing to another that can be meaningful in the end game. So you might think that you're going to a tea event for just a simple card reading, but you might meet somebody there, or somebody might say something that helps to make sense of this this huge shift or this epiphany. But sitting with spirit on a regular basis is the best way for you to get the insight that can help you to go to the next piece of business. So Mary Kay Binder writes, how do we know someone on the other side is not content with us? So Mary, what I feel like your angels are just wanting you to know is to learn to practice the art of discernment. And you will know when things are not right. It's like if somebody crossed over in your family and you don't feel comfortable, or you feel like you didn't get to say what you needed to say to that person, or that maybe they didn't forgive you or you didn't forgive them, whatever it is, you won't feel right. And just as simple as that, like you won't feel comfortable. You'll feel agitated, but you want to follow that trail, whatever it is, follow that trail and just kind of get down to the basis of why don't I feel right about this? And you may need to do some prayers for that person, or maybe do a ceremony. You can put together an angelic grid that's dedicated to that person. Just make a simple circle of crystals, and you can put a photograph of them in the middle, and maybe a special prayer or some sort of a symbol like an angel or Jesus or whatever speaks to you or feels meaningful to you, or that you might think might have felt meaningful to them. And then just ask that this portal, that the angels energize this portal and use the energy of it to help bring healing to that soul on the other side, or to share your ideas to them. It's kind of like sending them a etheric email, like, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to tell you what you meant to me, whatever. Let your heart speak. And but let your heart feel too. Let your heart discern. And if you do that, you'll be able to kind of stalk the root of the situation and make sense of it. Okay, Donetta writes, can we connect to passed on animals? So Donetta, yes, we can. I do all the time. And it's always a blessing whenever our special pets come in. But yes, they are souls that are having an incarnation in a physical body, so they're getting used to living in a physical, just like we are. We're immersed in the physical, and we're trying to sort it out and make sense of it, and move it around and activate it like we want to and like we feel we need to. So they are too, and they have a dream or a goal involved, or they have things that they are feeling led to do here in this lifetime, just like we are. So if you have a special dog or pet that's in the spirit world, did you see that? That was, I don't know, that was cool. So I think the fairies or the angels are playing with lights in here, light spirits are popping all around. But if you have a special animal that's in the spirit world, you could create a little grid or portal for them and just put their photograph in it and some special themes around it that you feel like they would love, and just stream into this portal whatever you want to share. Just put your heart into it and let them know how special they were, how they helped you, that you would maybe like to have experience with them again if they come back into another physical incarnation, that they are welcome to come back to you, and just trust your angels will help you to know where they are and how to go about doing that. So I hope that helps, but they reincarnate faster than we do. And usually there's at least 100 years between incarnations, and there is like a rule of thumb about that. And but for the most part, animals reincarnate quicker than we do, because I think they're on a fast track for experience, and they can absorb their stuff and sort it out a little bit easier than what we can. But just trust that you'll see your little special animals again. So, well, I'll tell you what, my voice is about to give out, but I want to thank you all for coming on today. And if I didn't get to answer your question, just hold it in your heart, your desire to hear a message from your angels or your own guides and teachers, and just trust that they will make a way to get your intention. It might be through a beautiful little bird while you're walking out to the car. It might be in a dream. You might have some sort of epiphany or understanding, but just trust that when the time is right, that some way or another that they will get a message to you. So anyhow, thank you all for hopping on today, and it was great to see everybody. And be sure and share this video. I will be giving away a free 30-minute reading to whoever shares the most. So just hit that easy share button. That is something that you can do for me that would make me very happy. And it's a way that the angels can kind of get their message out to more people. So bye, everybody. Thank you all for hopping on today. And I hope to see you all soon. Bye-bye.